Welcome to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host, the Evening Moose, and before we get started, please remember, the views and opinions expressed on this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCP, its GEC, nor Divisions, Brigade Camps, or any subsidiary areas. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? We have a great show for you planned where we have Maryland Division Commander Terry on to talk about his platform and candidacy for Army of Northern Virginia Councilman. So it'll be a great episode. We're going to jump into the news. Make sure, especially if you're in the Army of Northern Virginia, to share this out to your camps, brigades, and divisions. Share it out if you're not, just to help out. It's a nice thing to do. It's also good to share around ideas, and a candidate might have a great idea, and it can spread like wildfire. Isn't that so great? It seems we have a good number of people in the chat tonight. My aide-de-camp, Jack DuPont, in the chat. Good to see you, Jack. Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kenny, in the chat. Good to see you. Army of Tennessee Councilman Carl Jones Faversham. Al's in the chat. Good to see you. Mr. Ryan's in the chat. Good to see you. Kyle Thompson, Kentucky Division Commander, in the chat, who also blew up my phone with news, and I just now saw it. So it's all on tonight's episode. There's like 4 things from Kentucky this episode. So hopefully we can play a bit of catch up there for your division, Kyle. And I apologize, but that is an important note. Everybody, please do not text me personally. Email scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com, and you will be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. Ever since we started this show, I used to be able to take text messages, and my phone now has over 100 text messages. It's crazy. I can barely keep up with my own division stuff at this rate, so it would be helpful if you guys email us. That way I can keep in touch with it, and I make sure it doesn't get lost in the shuffle like I have done a couple times. But with that being said, let's jump into some news. Stonewall Jackson Camp from Florida is in the chat. Good to see you. David, good to see you. All right, let's jump into some news. All right, our first bit of news is going to come from Mississippi. I just realized I did something funny. Y'all will notice it at the end. But the Samuel H. Poe Camp number 255 out of Wayne County, Mississippi, are selling these 30th edition challenge coins, $10 each, to help fund our camp to do many, many things for heritage operations in our local town, the Mississippi Division, and the SCV. We have a couple big projects that we're not ready to share just yet, but buying these challenge coins not only helps you celebrate the 30th anniversary of our camp, but it helps us put money back so we can do some big things in the future. My small camp is really thinking and having some big plans in the future, and we really hope that you join us on this journey, because if you thought our first 30 years are great, well, buckle up. We're about to have another great 30. Alan, good to see you. Good to see you. How was the Louisiana Division reunion? I know y'all had just this weird speaker that's 6'6", bald, looks a bit like me, historian-in-chief, my father. There's so many people I knew that'd get confused by that. I just went ahead and dropped it. But the Tennessee Division are selling these cards. Did y'all refill the gift shop, Mr. Richard? Garcia, if you're in the chat, let me know. But these are some wonderful challenge cards that they can make to your camp, division, brigade. I mean, they showed us this at the Army of Tennessee workshop. It's a great plan. I can get you in touch with them. I do have their contact information now because my camp and my division are wanting to do some. So make sure you contact Mr. Richard Garcia and the other people involved. I'm drawing a blank on y'all's names. I'm sorry, but it is a great project. It's going to help. I think kids learn. I love collecting basketball cards when I was growing up. So to see baseball cards, I'm hoping that they spread like wildfire because I do want to collect them now. I guess that's just hardwired into my DNA. All right. Commander-in-Chief himself, Jason Boshears. I'm happy to report that our commander did not shoot me or GCB for posting that lovely TikTok of him. That was something we decided to wait until after I got back from vacation so I could see the response. Thank you, GCB. But it is a beautiful portrait, Commander. I want to see that up at the museum. Just this big portrait of Commander Boshears. His arms like this, that Kenny Rogers phase he went through. Oh, that'd be beautiful. Also, something beautiful is the General Forest 200th Society. Started a couple years ago, I think in 2021, to celebrate 200 years of General Nathan Bedford Forrest. The Tennessee Division came up with this. They're only accepting 200 people, and I know they're about to run out of room. So make sure you send them $200 now. You get this lovely challenge coin, a patch, and a label pin, and all proceeds go to General Nathan Bedford Forrest's boyhood home. A great thing. You get something great back, and you get to help out General Nathan Bedford Forrest by making sure his boyhood home is preserved for future generations. All right. Coming up June 1st in just a couple weeks is the Florida Division reunion. So if you're in the Florida Division or you're wanting to go to the Florida Division, make sure you contact them today. Go ahead and get everything done. It will be in Trenton, Florida this year. Commander Boshears, you're actually a pop star when it comes to our TikTok page and our funny videos. Everybody likes Commander Boshears. He gets like 20,000 views every time. It's almost guaranteed. He's become famous, everyone. Commander Boshears is now officially internet famous. He brings in the views. Connor didn't want me to tell you that until you got out of office, but I'm going to go ahead and let you know, Commander Boshears, you are internet famous. You have like 50,000 views of the 3 videos we've posted of you. It's crazy. You're world famous now. Make sure if you want to help out Elm Springs, they're doing this entry hall project. They're trying to get historic Elm Springs back to what it would look like in the 1860s. So this is for the entry hall project. I'm pretty sure they're done with this project now, but there's still a lot of things they're doing at Elm Springs that could use your help. I guess I need to go back and watch Hearth and Home this past Monday to get an update on that, as I was on the road when that was being filmed and wasn't able to watch it live. So I'll definitely have to go back and watch that. If you want an update about what's going on at your museum and SCV headquarters, make sure to check out our monthly Hearth and Home episodes with Executive Director of the SCV, Adam Southern, by the way. Another good one is Commander's Comments. Had to throw in some promotion in there for the other shows. Okay. That was Councilman Jones. That's not on me. Carl said it. I didn't. Golly, it's going to be one of them nights. Hey, Mr. Todd, how are you? I hope you're doing good. I'm glad to see you in the chat, brother. Commander, and I don't know if this is real. If it is, it's beautiful. That might be the thing that makes me smile the most today, is the fact that Commander-in-Chief Jason Boshears is on TikTok as SCVTREX77. If that's true, you've made my life. If that's not true, I'm making you an account as soon as this show goes off the air. I'll give you the password. You can use my email. I do not care. I will get you that TikTok handle name. It is happening. If anything, that can be an SCV chat mini account, and it just has your videos on it. All right, going into some more news, and we're getting close to the wrap-up stage. I wouldn't dare say we're super close, but we're getting there. All right. So we talked about them last week, but the Robert A. Toombs, Camp 932, the Camp 1386, and the Battleground Guard Squad of Troop 5 of the SCVMC have teamed up to erect a beautiful grand monument, the first one in 100 years. It's going to be a big, let me move this so you can see it. It's going to be a beautiful monument. Absolutely just fantastic. You can see here that they're selling bricks, just like headquarters are. You can help them out by going and following this brochure. I think we have it posted on our Facebook page. But it's going to be a beautiful monument. Here's where they are right now. You can see they got the first stage complete. And at the end, it will look like the monument in the lower left-hand corner. Going to be a beautiful monument. I love monument dedications, by the way. I do hope I can get there and make sure that that is broadcast, or either just go there and support the Georgia Division and these camps for this amazing project. I know they're working hard for it, and I hope to see them succeed. There's Carl saying that Jason's hungry for his heritage, and if you don't know what that meme is, I'm not posting it until he goes out of office because he scares me. So I'm gonna wait till he goes out of office. Let's see here. Oh, here's the update on the hall project. The closet has been removed, the trim is being painted, and we are raising money for the wallpaper. All right, thank you, Commander Boshears. It is true. I need to add a picture. Please do that portrait. Please do that portrait as your profile picture. I am begging you. I will make you that portrait. I can make it in the same style of his portrait. Just give me a week, Commander, and I'll have it done. That can be your profile picture. Councilman Jones is saying that monument is completed now, he thinks, and it looks outstanding. Awesome. Mr. Landon, if you're in the chat, if y'all have completed y'all's monument, please send it over this way. That way we can have some pictures of it. And congratulate y'all on y'all's success. Now, coming up next is the Turner Asby Camp 1567 of the SCV invites you to their 158th annual Confederate Memorial Day service. Wow, congratulations. Thursday, June 6th at 7 p.m. in Stonewall Cemetery within Mount Hebron Cemetery in Winchester, Virginia. I can get Winchester, but not that. Now that's confusing to me. But the speaker will be Miss Suzanne Lee of the Virginia Flaggers. Music will be by, you can see the band name right there. Not even going to try to disrespect them by butchering that name to sky, heaven, and back. The event will be held, rain or shine. Please bring a chair. You can see the contact information below as well as the cemetery address. Please contact them if you do plan on attending. I know they would appreciate that. Good evening. We have Past Commander-in-Chief, the most sharp-dressed man in the SCV, Past Commander-in-Chief Paul Gramlin Jr. in the chat. Good to see you, Commander. Yes, I went on vacation. For those who do not know, I left and I turned my phone off for a week. and it was magical. My phone blows up now, and it's always like either a telemarketer or SCV. It's pretty on point. They flip back and forth. Either they're calling me about my car's an extended warranty, or I'm getting a phone call about the SCV. So yeah, I got to turn my phone off for a week, and that was just music. I let it die one day just to see what it would be like to not have a phone on me, and it was great. But I did miss the Louisiana Division reunion, which I did want to go to, but sadly, my friends couldn't go on vacation any other week. We do this once a year, so I had to be the one this year to sacrifice something, and I had to sacrifice Louisiana Division reunion. I'm glad that y'all had a great time. My father said he had a great time, and I'm so proud of y'all's camp, Commander Gremlin. I heard that y'all did a fantastic job with your reunion. Congrats on a good reunion, and I cannot wait to see you and Miss Linda GG at the national reunion. Now, we might see each other before then. I can't remember. I haven't checked my schedule since I've gotten back, honestly, so I'll check it. But if you're in Biloxi anytime soon, Beauvoir, Jefferson Davis's last home and presidential library, will be celebrating his birthday June 1st from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will have on the property the grandson of the Duke, John Wayne, John T. Wayne. We'll also have cupcakes, a firing of a cannon, punch, and maybe a couple more surprises we're working on. Beauvoir, of course, is owned by the Mississippi Division, Sons of Confederate Veterans, and it is the crown jewel of what the Mississippi Division has. We love it. Beauvoir is so important to all of us. And of course, it's the last home of the only president our government ever had in Jefferson Davis. So we hope you come to the place to celebrate President Jefferson Davis's birthday. Yes, I'm going to show some division pride and say we have the best place to celebrate. And I know that's about to cause some major conflict in the comment section. It was worth it. It was worth it. Your phone blows up. That's what happens when you're a volunteer in the SCV. Well, see, y'all are national officers. It makes sense. I'm the national coffee getter for Commander Boshears. I make sure his coffee's not too hot, and I cluck like a chicken when he asks, which is a very weird request, but he has asked it before. And people call me thinking I have major swing because of chat, and it always confuses me. No, I'm a camp adjutant. Hello. I'm happy right there. I'm good right there. I'm very happy with my camp adjutant position. Oh yeah, my dad told me that he went to church, y'all. That's awesome. What church do y'all go to again? I believe you've told me. You might not actually want to say it in the chat now that I think about it, but we'll talk after. I would love to come to your church one day. I love visiting other churches. All right. Now, here is something very cool that I wanted to bring up. All right. Moose is a CIC in training. Oh, don't say that. No one wants me at the head of this organization. But thank you, Chief of Heritage Operations Kennedy. That is very kind of you to say. The Tallahassee Armory Guards Camp Commander Randall wanted to release this statement that his camp is undergoing a project to erect 5. I'm going to say it one more time. 5 monuments. This is awesome, by the way, on their property. They want to do one, the Confederate Soldiers Monument, a Stonewall Jackson Monument, the General Forrest Monument, and a Jefferson Davis Monument. And I believe that they're saving the Jefferson Davis Monument till last. Yeah, it'll be the final project. The stone for the Davis Monument has already been purchased. We're just waiting on the statue to be cast. It's going to be great. This is going on in Alabama. They're going to do one for Fort Tallahassee as well. I see. This is a major, major operation, and they did send me some pictures. Here's the Lee and Forest ones. Very beautiful, might I add. And I believe that's their Stonewall Jackson one. It looks like they already got it up. Uh, I love, cannot tell you guys enough how much I love monuments. It always warms my heart to see monuments going up. I love seeing dedications. I love going to dedications. I love seeing the projects from start to finish. It just warms my heart, to quote Carl. And donations can be sent to the camp. Scrolling at the bottom of the screens, make checks payable to Camp 1921 Monument Fund. You can send them to Commander Randall. There's his address scrolling across the screen. I'm going to leave that up for a bit. I have heard this is a very active camp. And again, I'm very happy at the work they're doing. I would love to be at one of their dedications. I love just seeing monuments go up. It's just great work, guys. We're all so proud of you. Keep up the charge, and honoring our ancestors and our heritage. Carl, who is a member of the Alabama Division as well as Army of Tennessee Councilman, says that that's Alabama Division's largest camp, and they are a great group of compatriots. I'm happy to see that they are putting up these 5 monuments. That is a task, so please help support them if you can. I'm going to try to remember. I'm going to be counting on Carl Jones to help me remember to keep that up there, that information, to remind everybody of the hard work they're putting in. Because I've seen camps have put up 1 monument, and that's a very big deal. I'm not downplaying that. But to put up 5, golly. It is a marathon, not a sprint when it comes to monuments, and they're definitely in a pretty long marathon. So make sure you help them out, and let's get these monuments up. All right, we're about to be winding down on the news, which is good because I'm about to run out of time to cover it. So I will be perfectly timing this. All right. Colonel Alfred Johnson Camp 276 and the Colonel Charles Wycliffe Camp 2337 joined members of the Patriots of the Orphan Brigade, OCR, and Graveside Services honoring legendary Confederate sniper Jack Henson. They went around and let's see here. I think I have, they went to Denver, Tennessee, then followed up with Confederate Flag Day memorial service at several locations across Fort Donelson National Battlefield, including the Confederate Monument, River Batteries, and the Surrender House. That is awesome. I like seeing camps travel and like that, and having a camp flag and taking group pictures. It's very important to build a community in the camp and also get your camp out in its community as a city. Do not be afraid. Let people know we're here. Let people know we're here to help, and we're also here to guard our history and heritage. So great job, guys. I'm probably about to get the Kentucky Division Commander on me because I might have said something wrong. Let's see here. Carl Jones, Army of Tennessee Councilman, says he's going to keep us in the update. I love how everybody's sounding out the camp because I mispronounced the camp name to the point where now our commander-in-chief is doing it. I'm glad this is going around. The Tallahassee camp is an excellent camp, and I encourage people to support this project. I couldn't agree more. This is a phenomenal project and a phenomenal camp for taking it on. Someone says you were in Florida and didn't say hello. I didn't say hello to anybody for about 4 to 5 days. I disappeared. You can ask my father. He texted me if I was okay, and I just sent back a thumbs up. Like, yeah, I do not talk to many people when I go on vacation. All right. Next up is the Tater Day Parade in Benton, Kentucky, with camps 276 and 2337. Here's some more pictures from that. Again, always good to get in the parade. Always good to get out in the community and to enjoy it. I love when I see parades because you're getting out there and it's a good influence on the camp. Kyle Thompson, the Kentucky Division Commander, says Camp 276 and myself are the official national guardians of the Jack Henson gravesite. Anyone wanting to visit sometime, shoot me a message. We'll accommodate you. Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. All right. On our second to last story, we're going to wrap this up. But the 2024 Camp Beauregard Memorial Service in Water Valley, Kentucky was this past weekend. Benton, Merrifield, and Wycliffe camps, man, the Kentucky division is trying to make it hard on me, were all represented along with Union City, Tennessee. And here's just some pictures from that event. They look like they had a great time. There was one picture we're going to post on our Facebook because I missed it. And it's the sweetest little girl ever standing right beside a cannon. And if that does not say Southern Pride, I don't know what is. So I'm definitely going to be posting that. I'm glad y'all had a spectacular event. It looked like a lot of people attended. So congratulations, gentlemen. And keep up the good work over there in Kentucky. Now, the last story of the day is I'm going back to my camp because I didn't realize I put it in there at the end. But the Samuel H. Poe camp officially wrapped up our 30th anniversary celebration. And we had to wrap up our celebration. Commander-in-Chief Jason Bosier's down to speak. We gave him the official camp flag of the Samuel H. Poe camp that was presented by all of us. Of course, my father, our camp commander, in the far left, the middle, that thing that looks like a heartbeat died for a second. That's our Commander-in-Chief, Jason Bosier's. And to me, I'm on the far right. But something that really surprised us all was that Commander-in-Chief Bosier's was nice enough and honored us with a proclamation declaring May 16th, 2024 as Samuel H. Poe Camp 255 Day. We can't thank him enough for that honor. It made our camp's year. He congratulated our charter member, our first lieutenant, Mr. Mike Bowles, on being, of course, starting the camp and sticking with us for 30 years and continuing to serve today for the camp. He said some very nice words about my father for his job as camp commander and just did an outstanding meeting. The camp raised funds to send money off for the 21st Century Confederate Heroes campaign to help pay off the National Museum. And let me tell you, if my small camp in the middle of Mississippi, in the middle of nowhere, can raise that money, I think we all can. Just strive for it, fundraise for it, pass the hat around, and we can all help pay off our museum. Our camp was very happy to give the check to Commander Bosier's that night, paid in full $1,000 for our museum. It was a special night, one that we will never forget. And the camp and myself wanted to thank Commander-in-Chief Jason Bosier's one more time for coming to our camp and doing what he did. It was very special to us, and truly, Commander, you are a lovely individual, and I cannot thank you enough. So before he throws something at me or tries to downplay the niceness that he gave us, we're going to hit a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we will have Maryland Division Commander Terry on talk about his candidacy for Army of Northern Virginia Councilman. He's going to have the rest of the show. So if you're in the Army of Northern Virginia, make sure to share this out and get some questions ready if you have them. But tonight's Pop-Tart break, just like everything else, is sponsored by Creative Cockade. They make beautiful, historically accurate cockades. Absolutely wonderful. I enjoy them so much, and we cannot thank them enough for sponsoring this season of Look Around and SCV Chat. Link will be in the description in the comment section below, and we will be right back after this commercial break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Welcome back. It is my honor to introduce Maryland Division Commander, Mr. Terry. How are you doing, Commander?
I'm doing well, Moose. Thank you very much for having me on the show tonight.
Well, I'm happy to have you on. I'll tell you the secret that I've told everybody else, that I always go over time, so you can too. So don't feel rushed, Commander. We're all here to hear about you tonight. And let's go ahead and start it off, Commander. Tell us a bit about yourself and your SCV career so far.
All right, be happy to. I'm a native Marylander. We had family here since 1650. I was born and raised in Baltimore, went to Baltimore schools, Baltimore City College. At the time, it was a much different city. We were known as the Monumental City, and Confederate monuments greatly outnumbered the Union monuments. I'm married, have 2 adult children, 2 grandchildren, and I have a couple of hound dogs. As far as the SCV is concerned, I joined in 2002 the Major General Isaac Ridgway Trimble Camp. I served as the commander on multiple occasions. Currently, I'm the judge advocate for the camp. As far as my SCV career is concerned, I got active in the division in 2008, first serving as second lieutenant commander, multiple terms as the division adjutant, and I've been serving as the Maryland Division commander since 2016. So obviously I like serving the division. From the standpoint of my background in education, I'm a graduate of Towson State University. I attended the Stonier Graduate School of Banking at Rutgers University. For 45 years, my career has been in banking, primarily in lending, contract negotiation. And I think that's a skill set that would be very helpful on the GEC, particularly with the museum. It's, what we have, the situation with the museum in terms of funding and seeing to it that the debt is retired. And that's one of the reasons I'm actually looking forward to getting back on the GEC. I think that's a skill set that the GEC can use. And it always helps to have a banker when you're negotiating with other bankers.
Very true. All right. Let's see here. First question, how do you envision your role of contributing to the overall mission and goals of the organization? You already talked about your talent as a banker. Is there anything else you're looking at to kind of focus on during your potential tenure?
As far as councilman is concerned?
Yes, sir.
Well, obviously, as councilman, your first obligation is to serve your constituents, which would be the members of the Army of Northern Virginia. You represent them and their interests and try to advance their positions whenever possible on the GEC. Certainly serving on the GEC, you're one of 16, essentially members of the board of directors. I think sometimes we lose sight of the fact that the SCV is a multi-million-dollar organization. And, sometimes I think we think a little provincially, and perhaps we need to step it up a little bit in terms of some of our business practices. So I think that's where a banking finance background, I think, would be very helpful. I personally am also very passionate about heritage defense. We have been on the forefront of heritage defense in Maryland. We've had the Baltimore Confederate Monument issue that's been going on since 2017. We've taken it to court. We've had litigation. They've changed venues on us. Unfortunately, the legal decisions didn't go in our favor, but we're still fighting them. We regularly attend the meetings of the Maryland Historical Trust. We're filing Public Information Act requests left and right, trying to get information to determine how we might proceed in other directions with them. So certainly heritage preservation is an interest of mine and one that I would hope to incorporate on the GEC. But again, you're one of 16 people, so your obligation really is to do the best you can working with that group of people in order to come up with a positive outcome for the organization.
All right. Can you share any specific initiatives or changes you would like to implement if elected to the GEC?
I think we could probably do some improvement as far as our communication is concerned. Obviously, we have the Confederate veteran. We have some of the Facebook groups. However, I think we probably need to take it perhaps a step in another direction. I think it would be nice if we could have televised GEC meetings. I don't know why we couldn't. We have this platform here that we're using for the SCV chat. And certainly in GEC meetings, you obviously have situations where you can't discuss everything, but you can certainly provide an opportunity for members to tune in and see some of the more day-to-day issues that the GEC is dealing with. And I think perhaps that might cause a better understanding. I think a lot of times our membership is frustrated by the fact that they may not be as familiar with some of the issues that the organization is dealing with. And I think that may at times really bring about hard feelings or obviously discussions that may not proceed in the most cordial directions.
Okay. I'd like to hear it. Yes, Jack, GEC meetings are open to the memberships, the ones that are held at headquarters.
Correct.
Let's see here. All right. In your opinion, what are some of the most pressing challenges facing the SCV today, and how do you plan to address them?
I think the museum is one of the most pressing issues that we have to deal with at the moment. Mm-hmm. Until we get that museum paid for, we really can't capitalize on it to the extent that we would like in terms of exhibits, staffing, hours of operation. I think that may be one of our last lines of defense in the Heritage War. And hopefully, once we get it paid for, it can be our first line of offense moving forward in terms of getting our positions portrayed.
Okay, yes, sir. All right. How would you engage with the broader membership to ensure their perspectives and concerns are considered in decision making?
Well, that's very important as a councilman because you're going to be hopefully getting feedback from your constituents. You're going to reach out to them. You're going to provide opportunities for them to communicate with you, either through phone calls or emails, etc. And certainly, I think the more attention that you pay to your constituents' views, the better it is. Everybody needs to hear their views advanced and expressed, and wherever possible, if you can advance those to a higher level, that would be a positive thing for the membership.
Okay, yes, sir. Regarding public perception, how do you plan to navigate potential controversies and criticisms surrounding the SCV?
Well, interestingly enough, for the past, I suppose, 7 or 8 years, we've been dealing with a lot of that in Maryland and, of course, nationally. Frequently, I've been speaking before the General Assembly towards positions of the SCV, basically in support of bills that are positive for our side, and also in opposition to bills that try to take away our heritage. Speak frequently before various jurisdictions. So communication is key. And I think that over the past 6 or 8 years, I've had more than ample opportunities to deal with the media, advance our positions, and walk that line, so to speak, where we put the best interests of the organization at heart.
Yes, sir. Real quick, wanted to let everybody know, if you have questions, please ask them so I can see them. It's very hard for me to see them when we're live like this. So go ahead and ask them so I can filter them while Mr. Terry is answering questions. Looking ahead, what do you envision as key milestones or accomplishments for the SCV during your potential tenure on the GEC?
Well, again, the museum is number one. That's my big priority, frankly. Membership is another issue that I think is critical. You know, we are losing members, and we're not picking up sufficient members to offset the attrition that we're receiving. One initiative that I would like to see is for us to reinvigorate the cadet program. I don't think we do enough with the cadets. I'm not sure that we actually follow up to see how many cadets actually come over to the SCV at full membership. One of the problems is we have youth that are paying $10 a year, and then when they turn 12, we're looking to charge them the entire, the full dues of adult members. I'm not sure with today's economy how well that works out. There's a lot of families that have multiple children in cadet programs, and it's very expensive. So I think that we might want to look at some means of reinvigorating the program, perhaps coming up with another scale whereby they wouldn't have to pay full membership dues at the age of 12, and maybe perhaps where we can give them more activities. I'm not sure nationally that we do a great deal for the cadets. They get their coloring book and their pen. It would be nice, again, using a platform such as this, if we could have some type of program for cadets where they could tune in. And, we have the the Gray Book, Confederate Primer. There were all these wonderful publications that were out that teach youth about their heritage. And we certainly have some educators in the SCV who I think would possibly be able to help develop a program towards that approach. And I think we have to really look at youth, get our membership up. We also need to reach out to some of our former members that have fallen by the wayside and see if we can get them back in the organization. Another group I think we could reach out to are the homeschoolers, because typically the homeschoolers seem to have a much better handle on our history and be much more objective and at least willing to hear different sides of the issues than once children get into the public education system, where basically it's mandated what can be taught in terms of our history.
All right. Let's see here. What strategies would you employ to enhance the transparency and communication within the organization? People have been saying they've been very confused. They've been not getting communications, stuff like that. We've talked about communications a couple times. Do you have any ideas you're thinking about implementing?
I think suggestions that I could advance in the GEC. I'm not sure that I could implement them by myself, but again, I think if we had, obviously the GEC meetings are open to membership, but it's not easy for members from various parts of the country to get to Elm Springs. So I think if we would use some kind of video platform to have open attendance for that, certainly not executive session issues, but just the normal business of the meeting, that would certainly help improve things. I think our website needs to be improved. I remember in the past, if you had an individual that wanted to join the SCV, you could go in and put an address and it would give you a camp. Now, if you put in a certain location, you get a map with like thousands of little Confederate battle flags, but it's really not helpful to try to get it online. And then ultimately we end up having to call headquarters, and then we tie somebody else up when there should be an automated method to do that. So I think that's certainly another thing we could do as far as improving communication. I think the more that the membership knows about what's going on, the fewer opportunities there are for them to perhaps get the wrong idea and then go off in tangents. And then, there's all kind of issues. I mean, I was on Facebook this week, and I know that the situation with logos came up, and I couldn't believe the number of different interpretations of logos. And surprisingly, I even went in and looked at our standing orders in our Constitution. And interestingly enough, there's nothing in the Constitution about our official logo, but there is one about our medallion, which is the medal that we wear, which looks like our logo, but it has the gold trim as opposed to the blue trim. So it's just another thing that just came up this week. So we do have some members that seem to, from time to time, get lost on tangents, and whatever we can do to keep communications open, I think that would be very beneficial.
Okay, yes, sir. All right. We have one question. I guess this is going to go with kind of heritage defense with what you were talking about. But someone asked, Mr. Bryan asked, is there something we can do to capitalize on the recent victories with school names in Virginia? Their schools are turned back to Stonewall Jackson, and I can't remember the other one right now. I'm having a brain fart. But do you think there's a way we could capitalize on those?
Yeah, I think the tide is actually turning personally. More and more I'm seeing glimmers of hope, and that certainly is one with the schools. In Maryland, one of the candidates that was running for state senate, who actually came out and had a bill in Congress to do away with the Lee Monument at Sharpsburg and actually have it destroyed. He lost in the election, so we find that as a very positive sign. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think more and more these victories, they're small, but I think we can build upon them. And, we keep the battle going, and sooner or later, I think it's going to turn around. I'm very hopeful as far as Arlington is concerned. The Maryland division has been very active in the Arlington, not only the Arlington National Advisory Committee, but then the subsequent military committee. And we actually we were actually a party along with the national organization, of course, and we obviously took a secondary role in that, but we were very active in pursuing that particular action as well. We followed a 9-page document. Interestingly enough, every time the Army came out and talked about all the terrible things that happened in Arlington, we used to remind them that they've owned Arlington since 1861 when they took it over from the Lees. So, that was a whole interesting situation as well.
Oh, I have no doubt, Commander. Is there anything you kind of are thinking about talking about tonight?
Oh,
kind of waiting on questions to come in right now.
Talk about. Let's see. Anything that I may or may not have covered. Let me just think here real quickly. No, I think we just really need to start communicating more. I think whatever we can do to get the message out to the membership. I sense that our membership is getting somewhat frustrated, and I understand why, because we've been fighting a number of these battles, particularly heritage battles, and unfortunately, with the way the court system works, we haven't been as successful as we wanted to, and I think that leads to frustration. And I think we really just have to look at everything from the standpoint of the charge and try to make sure that we're all on the same page. And we honor the charge with the vindication and making sure that we follow, what our mission is, so to speak.
I couldn't agree more, Commander. I loved hearing the website and heritage defense. Those are two things that are close to my heart, and especially cadet, because I was one of the first cadets. And so to hear that the cadet program is going to be getting shaken up soon. I know Commander Boshears has some ideas, and I can't wait to hopefully hear your ideas. I would love to see a big rise in the cadet program. I'm looking forward to hopefully working with you, Commander, and let's make sure we all hit the ground running. Real quick, if you are in the Army of Northern Virginia, please share this out. Is there any questions in the chat? This is going to be the last call for those. I know someone asked about putting divisions, brigades, and local camps on the website. Just kind of more of an opinion. We do have had people that kind of add on to opinions, Commander, if you want to do that.
In terms of the national website?
Yes, sir.
Is that the question?
Yes.
I think if we have the technology to do it, that would be very positive. However, I'm not sure how much support we have for that website right now to accomplish that. Interestingly enough, I was looking at some of the committees that we have on the website, and I still am on a committee that I was last served when I was on the GEC between 2016 and 2018. So, and I get it. We don't have full-time people that do webmaster duties, et cetera, et cetera. So I think while the idea is very reasonable, I think from a technological standpoint, it may be a bit of a stretch to try to get that accomplished.
I hope to see it. I know there's some things we could do differently with the website, but I'll be happy just to see anything. I think it'd be a move in the right direction personally. But Commander, it's been great to have you on tonight. If you are in the Army of Northern Virginia, please share this out. If you're not, share it out anyway. Let's get some viewership from Mr. Terry. Let's make sure we have a good episode, high view count for him. And again, one more time, I'm going to ask for any questions. I don't see any.
Yeah, I might just interject. I was looking at the amendments that we're having for the upcoming convention. And this segues into the cadet program, but I know there was a motion or an amendment suggested. No, I guess it was a motion to possibly raise the dues again. And, as far as with regard to the cadet program, I see that as being very problematic. What we do to the older members is certainly worthy of consideration, but I think we have to do something for the kids because, this has not been an economy that's been particularly beneficial to anyone. We're seeing inflation rates that are crazy. Getting back to the situation with the museum, if we have any debt, the interest rates are rising. That's something we have to be concerned about. And when you figure out, without getting into the weeds, if with interest rates increasing, that again is an additional expense that we as an organization have to deal with.
Well, I hope we get to work with you down the road, Mr. Terry. I know you're not challenged right now, and I hope you win. I hope you have a successful 2 years. I'm looking forward to having you on the show either way in the near future because you are Maryland's division commander. I would love to have you on and just talk about what the Maryland division's doing. I know y'all work very hard up there in Maryland.
We're getting ready to put up another monument, so that's a very positive thing. We're working very closely with Confederate Memorial Park, which is a privately owned 501c3 organization. Many of the SCV officers are also involved with that particular project, although it's not quote unquote an SCV project, but we count on those people. They have the same views as we do. It's a secured 7-acre parcel of land. We successfully had a monument that was going to be destroyed from Grace Episcopal Church relocated there. And we hope to have many more monuments at Confederate Memorial Park. It's at Point Lookout, Maryland, which is one of the southernmost points in Maryland, but we're very proud of that particular activity as well.
Well, y'all are doing some great work up there. I'm happy to hear that y'all have another monument going up. Congratulations, Commander. And I hope to see you hope to see you soon. I guess we'll be seeing each other in July. You
will be seeing me in Charleston. Yes, sir. You certainly will.
Perfect. We'll stop by and get an interview from you.
All right. That'd be fun.
But make sure to, again, share this out. Let's make sure we get as much love for this episode as possible. And, of course, keep everybody informed. That's why we're here. And make sure you tune in this Monday at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time for your weekly episode of SCV Chat. We'll be posting tomorrow what we're talking about. So make sure you come by our Facebook page and check it out. Make sure you also send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups to scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com, and you'll be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. It has been great to see everybody again. Happy to be back. Let's make sure we get, again, a lot of love for Commander Terry. And remember to stay Southern, everybody. Good night.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.